Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you. A lot of messages came through again today, so stay tuned, take a deep breath. Okay, sending out a lot of love and clearing for you guys. So I sent out a message earlier today, which I will review again today. I just wanted to make sure it got out earlier because part of it had to do with something that might happen tonight. So it is September 8th today, 2020. The 8 is the Strength card, and the day adds up to 21, which is the World. So completion, the World, cycles, the Sealed Divine Feminine, anything that has to do with completion in the world, and the 8, which has to do with strength and manifestation, inner and outer strength, and the dance of the masculine and feminine between your own inner divine masculine and feminine, and doing that dance back and forth in a very flowing way. Excuse me, I was just coughing a little bit before I started. I just ate my dinner, so. Okay, so. So first thing that was coming up for me today was Japan. And, you know, a tanker had come up the other day from Japan, so I looked up to see what the latest news headings were for Japan. And one of them was about a livestock ship and 40 missing crew members off Japan's southern islands after efforts were suspended due to a typhoon. So there were two survivors were rescued, and I believe a third was recovered as well. They had to halt the search because of the a second typhoon. And then I was getting Typhoid Mary. They definitely confirmed a lot of the cows that had died and oil from the ship, so they know it happened. The first survivor was Chief Officer from the Philippines. Said the ship had stalled when an engine stopped and capsized with a powerful wave and sank. The second person was Filipino and rescued Friday floating on a raft. So the ship's operator was Dubai-based Gulf Navigation Holdings, PJSC. They own chemical and livestock tankers. Okay, so tanker's been coming up as well as the Japan stuff. So. And then the other heading that was notable was about Abe's, the Prime Minister successor, because he's ill and he's going to step down. So there's 3 new candidates, and Yoshihide Suga is 71. I guess they think he's going to be the next person. He grew up the oldest son of a strawberry farmer, perhaps per the headliner. And he is not considered a political blue blood. And they think that he was his right-hand man already, so they think that he's going to take over for Abe's. And that's the headers that came up, but I was also getting the ship stuff again. So I looked up, what did I look up? Actually, Abe, the current Prime Minister, was Japan's longest-serving premier. They just talked about the elections may not get sped up to get someone new into power because of the COVID stuff, so I'm not sure what to make of that. But then I was getting the ships, the Crystal Ace ship that came up the other day, and an advertisement came up on that website. It said, "Don't get caught unprepared." and they're considered vehicles. They're vehicle carriers, and vehicle to ascension was also coming up. And the White Bear Maritime Limited is the owner, but that's actually Japan. Emerald Ace was also coming up, which is not moving anywhere right now. It's in Veracruz, Mexico, as of, I think, September 4th. And it was still there. September 7th, they were documenting it as well at 1707. And then I went to look up Diamond Highway, but I think I looked up Diamond Highway because on the ship schedule, it didn't have a flag. It was blank. It said unknown flag. So I went to look it up, and it looks like that was the one that had a fire last year. But I was kind of tracing it to see if it was rebuilt. And I was also getting Blue Wave Boating, which is a US-based boating company, and also Cadanigua Lake, and they have boat rentals there for Blue Wave Boating. And that's right up near Canada, near Niagara Falls. But also, in looking up Diamond Highway, Niagara Highway came up as the other boat. So this boat was the same company. It's all the same Japanese company, but Niagara Highway was on its way to Newark tonight at 2200. The first one, Crystal Ace, was on its way to Canada tomorrow. It was originally scheduled to come in at 7 a.m., but now it's scheduled for 12 noon. And then the other ones just docked in Mexico. So it just was weird that I was guided to this kind of thing, because I never get guided to ships or ship schedules. I know nothing about this stuff. So just so you're aware. And I'd pulled some cards earlier about the ships, and I forgot to show you the underlying energy, because the underlying energy was the beacon to shine on. So literally this looks like a big tanker ship, right? With the light, but obviously it's a lighthouse or a beacon. And beneath that, in the underlying energy, was the codependency and the key to freedom here. And it's interesting because I was looking at padlocks yesterday. All right, so that one literally is number 53, which is the Knight of Swords, the codependency and the key to freedom, like letting go of the family tree if it doesn't serve you. And then here is being the beacon. Shine on, 44, mastering, grounding, and integrating, especially the receiving of love, okay? And certainly this beacon is receiving the love of the ocean, right? That deep ocean water is the emotions being thrown at the beacon. So that's a message there as well. And the cards that came out for this, first was yellow of joy and happiness of the bee pollinating the flower. So, this is time where we go inside. Kids go back to school normally. And this is where people, are together more, perhaps mating, or just getting, a last enjoyment of what's out there still that may not be around for much longer, like the flowers and the butterflies. But this is that solar plexus energy of yellow. And the honeybees, some time with your honey perhaps. But then we got the inner child, hear and know me. So it's telling you to make sure you connect with your inner child. 36 is the 10 of Wands. It's that Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon your shoulders. And so instead of holding the weight of the world upon your shoulders, go within, connect with your inner child. So when things may get confusing or you're not sure what to do, and again, this can reference kids going back to school as well, right? Like a child who might be scared to go to school. And then we had the gold cup of replenishment, 16, which is the tower energy, so sudden changes. But also it's not about the cup, and this came up yesterday in the read, that it's about the contents in the cup, right? What is the cup without it filled, right? So that was coming up, and very much it's not about the gold cup, it's about what fills it up, the heart space, the love. So we have the infinity there as well. And that's when sudden things come in that may trigger you, it's about, both cards are about going within. Get in touch with your heart space. Have confidence. Show your light. And then we have the red of the 55, which is the truth, the Ace of Swords, the Excalibur, of safety, strength, and power, which is really bringing us back to the earth and learning to work with the earth as far as food and taking care of ourselves, just a more simple way of life. And this is also that red energy of the root chakra, that strong foundation. Make sure you know what you want. and build a very strong foundation before building it up. And then we have the blessings and thanks, which gratitude was a big theme today as well. And here this goes very well with the Indians, right? Thanksgiving and the Indians and the pilgrims. But this has to do with getting along with everybody, breaking bread, and also growing your own food, instead of having to buy very expensive organic food, grow what you can and share. Okay? It doesn't matter what our separate beliefs are, we can still share and break bread together. And then here is the evolution, the birthing of the new. Okay, so this is the 40 of the Page of Cups, so it's very much the regeneration of the human, the birth and rebirth, or the death and rebirth. The Page of Cups is that very innocent, loving energy, the pure of heart, when it's untouched, because it's just come from pure source. Okay, and the little circles here, it's so funny, of the feminine and the masculine symbols that I'd shown on the picture the other day of distortion. So there's definitely new beginnings here. And it's just, telling you whatever comes across your path to stay positive, go back within, don't get triggered, fill up your heart with love, stay close to nature, and give thanks, and share with others, and then you will evolve to the new place of innocence of that Page of Cups. And some of you may be having an actual baby. So that was a very profound message coming up. So with the world and the 8, it's about having inner strength and outer strength and manifesting when we're dealing with the whole world, not just ourselves. So this time of year in September always kind of calls us to come back outside of ourselves and see the world, as opposed to just meditating all the time every day and keeping to ourselves. It's about connecting with the world. And then it's like that test. Are you going to get triggered, or are you going to be able to stand up for yourself and walk away when needed? Okay? And not freak out, not get upset. It's like this testing ground, it's back to school test. So let's see here. The the Diamond Highway ship was the one that caught fire last year. That was in June 19. And now the Niagara Highway, and the company is K-Line, but there's a couple different companies like that. So K-Line is actually a toy company based in Sandakan, China, which came up because the name Sandy came up the other day. And as soon as I saw the Sanda, because I never would have thought of Sanda on my own, it was being guided to that name. So there's something about this K-Line company in China, but that has nothing to do with the ships. This is a toy company, and I don't think they're connected. It is a toy manufacturer of trains and others. And they have a tracking organization infrastructure of vessels, terminals, double stacks, trains and containers, ocean carrier trucks, warehouses, and then Ro-Ro came up, and this was based in Hong Kong. It was formerly PE backed, I think, and it's also called Kader Holdings, Kader, in Hong Kong. They acquired them, so there might have been a merger at some point. Sandakan, together, the name as one word, was Elopura Capital, Sandakan, in the district of Sabah in Malaysia. And here 1973 came up, which is why I want to bring this up. This is the third time 1973 came up in the past couple days. Or not past couple days, since this might have come up September 1st, around there. So I did bring those things back up again because I wanted to reference the 3 things that came up around 1973. So the ship company is K-Line, but there's no dash in between. It comes up looking like Klein if you put it together, but it's K-Line, Klein.co, and that is the Japanese company that makes these ships or owns these ships. Also, K-Line was coming up, connecting the line of the midpoint of the cervical to the cervical 7 spine, which comes up the number 27, which is the Ace of Wands, which this read ended on the Ace of Wands upright today. That was from ncbl.nlm, so that's the government website. So the Japan company was K-Line Logistics Ltd. They have a home base in Japan and East Asia, which is actually China, and offices in both places. K-Line adds the Niagara Highway, built in 2019, to its fleet, and that's the one coming into Newark tonight. As the last vessel of 13 post-Panama fleets, that was from June 12, 18. En route to Newark today. It's supposed to come in exactly at 2200 tonight. It was under the Panama flag, but the owner is Japanese. It came initially, as far back I could see on the list there, it came from Amsterdam as a cargo ship, going through Germany and then Belgium and then Britain to Newark. All right, so so the other things that came up with 1973, besides the Chinese toy company K-Line, acquired by Sandakan, S-A-N-D-A, separate word K-A-N, which is a Chinese company. They were connected to, so the K-Line was acquired by Sandakan, all right? So they used to be like a subcontractor to them, but then they took them over. So now it's Chinese owned. The other thing that happened in 1973 was, I told you about the adrenochrome ship label that came from Argentina to New York, to New York, to it was the label to New York was an official state label. So the adrenochrome label was coming from Argentina to New York to an official state place, and it was penguin pineal glands. And this was back in 1973. It wasn't something new, all right? 1973 this was. The other thing that came up in 1973 was the Knight of Columbus Euclid CEE Club, which I was connecting to the Knights of Columbus Catholic Church. But when I looked up the site, the first thing that came up with them when I saw this the other day was a business incorporation page, just showing you the business and then incorporated, and it was registered as a no tax, charitable business under fraternity, I think. But when I went to see if there was a connection to the main parent company, Knights of Columbus, there was a Euclid site there, or several. So I looked it up, and there was no it's there, but there was no website that opened. Actually, there's a couple different places where the website didn't open at all. So it's just a little suspicious. So that comes up with the C stuff, CEE, which also came up, civil engineering, the school that came up in Illinois, associated with the C Knights, or the Knights of C. Those were all 1973 things, okay? Incorporated in 73, two different companies, both incorporated in 73. The Knights of Columbus, KC, and the K-Line company, the Chinese company. And then the adrenochrome shipment label from Argentina to New York. So it's really weird. So I looked up 1973 in Gematria to see what would come up. Very interesting. So the first thing that came up when I looked it up, I put in 1973, the Son of Man who becomes the Son of God. And within that heading, it said Dave Grohl made Kurt Cobain, Dave Grohl, G-R-O-H-L, had Kurt Cobain killed as a sacrifice. All right, that's what came up under that header. The other headings under the Son of Man who becomes the Son of God were every day someone dies. That was the next one. And then the next one was 137. And under that, we had light at the end of the tunnel and true prophet sent by God. And it was so weird because it's 137, and it was under 1973, and the other numbers associated with that line were 273, but it was also 273 searches. So it was kind of crazy with the 3s and the 7s, 137. Under the next one, the name of the one that has been protecting Eva, what was under that was Sent True Prophet of God, the End is Coming. And then was, there's a lot under this one because it was significant all the way down. The Messiah Anointed, the True Prophet of God. The third one was Q, proofs the light at the end of the tunnel. The fourth one was American Prophet Rising Up from the Ashes. The fifth was Jesus Said, I am the resurrection and the life. The sixth one was As the darkness falls, so does our enemies, Q. It's like a message from Q. And then 7 is God, and God shall dry all the tears of those redeemed. And the 8th one was It's all done by the numbers Zachary K. Hubbard. Number 9 was aliens made doppelganger twins of all the elect. 10 is I, Great Satan, Michael Ornelas, killed and eat children. It's Michael Ornelas is what came up. Number 11 is David N. Bridge, also known as David Nathaniel Bridge. It's just the name that came up. And then number 12 was U.S. Senator from New York. 13 was Carnelian, Exotic, Intelligence Solutions. And 14 was Amunra, Black Madonna, Victoria, or God and Muhammad. That was the 14th, and that was all under the name of the one that has been protecting Eva. Then under that one was Overthrow. So Overthrow was actually the first one I went into because 144 was associated with that one. And that one came up with the God's only name, Sons of Light, Lord's Highest, December code page. Actually, was that under? Yeah, that was that. Under December code page was Scorpion 17, the Comet Atlas, Nasara Gasara, Los Angeles, all came up under that one. And then under I'm in Radiation, Ventilator came up, as well as Isopsophia. Under that was Flick Flack Music and Perfect Information, White Rabbit and Chosen by God. Under March Madness was Microsoft, The Matrix, The Storm, Premiums, The Great Reset, Overnight, and then the 7th one was True Love. And actually under Isopsophia and The Dark Knight both came up as the same stuff. That was interesting. I'm in Radiation came up as The Ventilator, The Great Awakening, Adriana Dicochi, Diccio. Then Joy to Heal All. And then Liars Condemned, Bride of Christ, and Ancient of Days all came up under that. Under Heaven on Earth and Perseverance came up Mother Mary, A Star is Born, and Snow White. My Mission Is, The Alien Signal. 14th was the stock market, or that was 15th actually. Alien Signal was 14th, and the stock market was 15, and 15 is the devil. And then the Zodiac Finds God, and 46 was the last one under the Overthrow. So a lot of kind of interesting messages came up there. Oh, under the December code came up the Aeon or Eon. Where is that? So under the December code page, I told you Scorpio 17 came up 17, Comet and Atlas, and Nasara Gasara, Los Angeles, and then it went to Sagittarius, Doxamedron. 7 was The doxamedron was the aeon or eon, however you want to pronounce it. The 7 was the rays profile, and 8 was God walks the earth. Okay, so we cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 11:33 today. 11 is justice, 33 is the Christ vibration, also the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself. And as I was clarifying at 11:41 and covering some of the words, at 11:41 was justice and the Ace of Cups. It came up as of flames, and then MES. And then I was seeing the M in MES, like, you know, in the cartoons, how they show you an ant or something, or maybe a spider really close up, and they have those, you know, squared off feet going dump, 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 dump. I was getting that kind of look. I don't know whether it was an ant or a spider, but it was very cartoony. And then at 11:44, which is justice and the 4 of Cups, I had put down the numerology cards, and love came up as the code line card, but it was being partly covered to love, Ove, and VE. So I'll get into all that in a minute. I finished clarifying at 11:55 to 56, which 55 and 56 are the Ace and 2 of Swords. So the truth, Excalibur, and being in your knowing. The major arcana here in the main part of the 7 deck read, and it is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, which is the main deck. We had reflection, which is the Hermit, strength, karma, which is the Judgment card, the Great Wheel or the Wheel of Fortune, and reason, which is the Emperor. And again, Ray was coming up in reason. Before and after the read, we had indigo, and then after the read, transition, which is the Death card, very much walking through the portal. Indigo in this deck is the Magician. It's a young energy. We had 2 wands, 1 sword, 2 pentacles, and 1 cup. So again, not only is today adding up to 21, but here we had 21-21. So it's very much an ending to a cycle here as we go into the portal tomorrow of September 9th. The only court cards in this read, in the main part, was the Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles came up before the read. The King of Cups came up after the read. We had significant numbers of double 7s. In addition to the odd numbers were very important here, 1, 3, 5, 7. And then with that comes the 13 of the Death card, 35 of the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands, 57 of the 3 of Swords. And in a lesser sense, we had 12, the Hangman, 23, the King of Wands, 56, the 2 of Swords, and 67, the Knight of Pentacles, and 78, which is the 10 of Pentacles. And in a very much lesser sense, 89, which is the reflection of 98 of the human body temperature. So it kind of references the phi of expansion energy and coming back to center. And the code line here, there was no number on the code line. It was all about love. And it was a show of power. This also can be nickel, but a show of power of the saying, the speech, or the sinoatrial node, which is the pace setter. We talked about this the other day. Saying, or in a flash of light, an epiphany, like lightning coming in, the phi of the expansion, and then the knowing to need to come back to center, the expansion and the reflection of the Hermit into the Sophia of the 7, and the vehicle of ascension, the chariot. It's also about the Hermit on their path. And being a saint or secret or being sweet could come up as well, the Sophia energy. The acronyms NISA came up, as well as OVE, as I said in love, OVE, and then VE all came up, as well as SEVE. So NISA means water, drunk, intoxicated, or to sneeze. And it also means water. I wrote that already. Oh, that's all that NISA means. Water, drunk, intoxicated, or to sneeze. So water, lightning, expanding, and a need to center. The lightning could also be Sophia's Eve. And instead of water, it could be intoxicating. Expanding and a need to center. And reflect Sophia, the Hermit's path, the 7 of the chariot, and love. And the love was coming up, the OVE, OVE, means ship, not ship, it means sheep, egg, and just in case, okay? So here's the sheep and the egg, and I just talked about the babies and birthing the new, and the sheep, of course, the sheepish inheriting the earth, and what else came up with that? Oh, and then the VE came up, which is also egg, but it's also widowed, widow, widower. It's also about pain and birthing, the birthing pains of labor. The woe, the worm, alas, oh dear, we, you, woe. The holy place is also VE. It also means now, the present moment. It also means to see, to spot. And also means cicada or tick. So I'm just wondering if we could have any problems with bugs coming in. So it also means a small bottle or jar, to flirt with or would. And then SEVE only means sap, S-A-P, the sap of a plant, which we saw the bee. That was the first card that came out earlier, was the bee. Okay, so it reminded me of the sap, like the tree sap. So, to sneeze, sap. Now I guess your boogers could be referenced to a type of sap of a human. In the flash of light, to shave, the lightning of expanding and reflecting, the Sophia being key, and to just breathe, right? The expansion and the contraction. The expansion, the contraction. Just breathe. We start with the Seven of Wands reversed in this read. Okay, here's the Seven of Wands, and then the clarifiers on top. Below the Seven of Wands reversed is the Six of Swords upright, the Nine of Cups upright, the Indigo upright, and the Queen of Pentacles upright at 1:21 this afternoon. 1 is the Magician, 21 is the World. Again, defenseless to drama, after smooth sailing, getting their wish, the Indigo Queen of Pentacles. And that could be one person as an indigo, or it could be a child and the Queen of Pentacles. Strong energies coming down as Atlas, or the weight of the world, and resistance to uncomfortable energies, feeling ganged up on. The Queen of Swords reversed, perhaps war widow, with synchronicities and options and heaven in their eyes. The Queen of Swords reversed, over the speaking her truth. And again, the war widow is coming up along with the definition above. So the Queen of Swords is reversed today, so she's very much, crushed, right? Because she's already the war widow upright. So when she's reversed, it can be an abusive person or someone who's lying, but it also can be someone who's in negative self-talk or just very, very deeply in mourning. So the Queen of Swords reversed, over speaking and being held up by Atlas, or perhaps by others. The one radiates above all others at 127, which is the Magician and that Ace of Wands. Now that the worst is over, the Queen of Wands may be offering time, money, or effort to the past, to break away, or in a divorce, or to a Taurus reversed, or finally paying back a loan, or giving a loan after not doing it. It's like waiting till everything's easy, and now they're willing to help. Resting, break, or meditating in 5D, walking away, or just taking a walk, being strong, or a Leo perhaps, tempering the beast, and the King of Pentacles with the Six of Cups, whether it's kids or twins or best friend, bridging to the Two of Cups connection and happy family or emotional fulfillment and defenselessness, sliding in to home base. Spindles made of chalices or cups from spindles, or a deck or steps with flat board top on the railing, or working on a project together. 4 flower pots, all chalices or spindles. Together we can do anything. Not better than you, but together with you. So the song was coming, I can do anything better than you can. So it was about not competing, but being able to do anything when you join together without competition. 2 of Cups and 6 of Cups. Only 2 more for 10 cups of emotional fulfillment here at 150, which is the Magician and the 10 of Cups, making all your emotional needs fulfilled. At 51, which is the King of Swords, 2 kids or 2 adults, or just 2 in their inner world. The journey ahead with phi expanding and contracting, perhaps using the phi stick to play foosball later on. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck, stubborn, at a standstill, perhaps with layoffs or no work, disabled or on strike, and suddenly there's an explosion, eruption, or an epiphany about being left out in the cold, In exile, destitute, injured, or ill at 157, the Magician and the Three of Swords. And right at that point, I kept thinking a bee outside, or one of the hornets from my hornet's nest, was knocking at my door because I kept hitting the door. I'm like, what the heck? They're trying to get in? So I got up to look, and it wasn't. It was a stink bug on the inside trying to get out. So I let the stink bug out. I finally got him to crawl on my finger so I could take him out the door. But that was definitely a message. Just when you think you know what it is, it may not be. It might be something else. And to let them out. So no balls, or no strong foundation, or someone got screwed and now is jobless or homeless or got kicked out, or lots of hospital or office visits. Reconciliation came up and let your friends help. The energy coming up here is no fantasy family, with the Queen of Wands always admiring herself in the mirror and or shopping, dressing up, or making big purchases. Deception between the Queen of Wands upright and the Queen of Pentacles upright, perhaps Libra upright and Cancer reversed, or both are just up before Sun, trying on their new school outfits was a message coming up here. The Queen of Wands getting attention or flirting, or just has a flirty personality, but the Queen of Pentacles isn't having it, or only has a servant boy, like a boy who will wait on them, one who begs to service her. There's no pearl to be found here by the Divine Masculine, only deception and slave labor. The goggles are off and one boot is on. Mandarin orange and sea green mint. Rock and log to test how slippery. Oysters not in season, or a child raises their hand always with the answer. No more late nights at the beach or pool with friends. And this could definitely be kids going back to school where one child may be, jealous of the other one because they naturally fall into things easier than the other. And then the numbers 10, 18, and 10 came up, which the 10s would cancel each other out. So 18 is very significant here. So that 18 is the moon, but also it's coming up September 18th, actually, which is my birthday. Or the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles surround the moon, or a Cancer reversed, with relationship change and karmic completion coming up for the Divine Masculine in the under energy. Depression or loss of hope or arrogance, or an Aquarius reverse comes up on this relationship change and karmic completion. Walking away, holding tongue. On the journey, good news, success, and leading the way by dumping a load, a burden, or responsibilities, and or confessing. Left for dead with only Bambi left after sudden event, epiphany, and justice for all, or divorce, or Libra upright and Scorpio reversed. Perhaps someone fell and got hurt, or a painful process, or legal process, or sexual process. Perhaps a fate worse than death. Resisting temptation. From leading the way to walking away, or from riding to walking, all is fair in the end. Justice and Libra, defenseless to drama, energies, or being ganged up on by the Ten of Cups family, or leaving two out, and then reconciling with the Queen of Pentacles in the relationship change with Aquarius or depression. The recent past at 222, which is the guidance counselor show, the Seven of Swords upright passing downloads, looking back at the Queen of Cups reversed, moving, visiting, or ending a marriage, or house unstable, starting over in a bold move to fall, or perhaps got hit by a car. That happened to me. Or Chariot, Warrior, or Cancer upright or Aries reversed fell from grace, or just fell and didn't think it was funny. You know how some people might laugh at someone falling. At 224, not breaking something, not funny, breaking something, like it's not breaking patterns, but really hurting themselves. The Queen of Pentacles breaking patterns to start over with the Page of Cups reversed and the King of Swords upright, or perhaps with rejecting the King of Swords at 224, which is the High Priestess and the Queen of Wands. So Queen of Wands could reject the King of Swords. King of Swords looking back or living in the past with the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups reversed, which definitely could be a mother and daughter, moving, and the Queen of Pentacles starting over, not amused by a drive-by. So whatever the drive-by is, right? It could be a shout, it could be throwing something, it could be hitting a car, whatever it is, you know, if someone's, you know, an ex doing bad things to your car, that kind of thing. So the Queen of Pentacles starting over, not amused by a drive-by or a fall or foolish behavior. The foundation is the Three of Cups reversed. Whether it's third party, social distancing, or bad influences in general or groups, there's no joy. Exposed. High energy or kids or Leo, impatient with energetic exchange back and forth. With the Knight of Cups upright, offering their time, money, and effort, and or a new life to the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, rushing in, and as the Queen of Pentacles. The central energy here is the Five of Pentacles upright. Well, first the Knight of Cups. With the Knight of Cups, there may be some overexposure, kids or Leo, an offer to the Knight of Swords, perhaps pissing off a Leo or Sag reversed or kids, and the Knight of Swords is over the energetic exchange or the arrows of love or expressing feelings. The central energy here, or the heart of the matter, is the Five of Pentacles upright, perhaps a financial or practical issue or issues in a split, or the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave with only natural light reflecting off of the ice. In a divide, lies, a split or BS, foolish behavior, or a fall from grace, with the Page of Pentacles opportunity or invite, or wanting to study the gold coin, unity consciousness, with the Queen of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Perhaps learn more and let go to repair, mend, fix, and be inspired. Or the Queen of Pentacles getting the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Wands to let go and then make amends, or go take a walk when you're at war. So it could be telling your kids, you know, instead of fighting with each other, when you feel like you're going to get triggered, they're teaching them to walk away and take a walk and then come back. The challenge being the Hermit upright with the light or sunblock. And this could be artificial light as opposed to the natural light of the Mary Magdalene cave. Passing the light or the baton to the Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave with no light, only crystals and ice and reflections. The challenge being the hermiting together, right? There's like two different hermits here, usually is a solo job. Over loss, regret, and the past in an energetic exchange, an imbalance between third party and the King of Cups with no competition. Surrendering to third party, offering the third energy, new passion, growth, and inspiration, creativity, to the Page of Cups reversed, perhaps spoiled by Ten of Cups family and or rejected by them, or shy and vulnerable, but emotionally fulfilled at the same time. The Chariot in a bold move, defenseless with issues at work, knowing about a judgment or an announcement, a wake-up call, and keeping it to themselves, in surrender to happiness with self. The King of Wands upright, hanging out with their back turned on the helpless, the victims, or no work or no offer of time to give, with the King of Pentacles upright, receiving an offer of passion, growth, and creativity from or coming out of overworking, no work, or being done with what doesn't work. Starting over and not accepting mediocrity or the same old, same old. Instead, they're going to be love, offering love, the Knight of Cups being open. Now the strength of the tiger's eye on the prize, the Page of Swords reversed with negative self-talk or rumors, and the worst now over, with clarity of bliss or the bliss state, no competition and separation with divorce, justice, or Libra. Running from self or running from time or destiny, or time, feeling like time was stolen from them, now chomping at the bit towards the Queen of Swords reversed, Libra, or judge or lawyer, causing issues at work. The POW broke up or without physical affection in strong connection of another world or upside down world, near the cycle's end or in need of closure, with justice, divorce, or Libra keeping to themselves, the Scrooge letting go of loss, regret, and implementing a plan to be or of an announcement of surrender at 249, which is the High Priestess and the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card, which was upright today. Or to be happy with self, but impatient, losing patience or no longer patient, or Sagittarius reversed, happy on two different timelines, even though they're reversed and impatient. Purging the King of Swords and the King of Wands, both upright, or suddenly dumped in a jealous rage. The King of Swords keeping quiet and to themselves in a death march. The dark night, death, end, and transition, with Scorpio, the Page of Cups reversed, exploding fire sign, chomping at the bit on a rampage towards the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Swords reversed, who could be a Gemini or a Libra upright, or Leo, Aries, or Sag, Cancer, Page of Cups reversed child feeling ganged up on at work, perhaps by a Gemini reversed and a Pisces reversed with Libra in their chart. Perhaps they're best friends or siblings who are now over it, trying to make up with the Sagittarius reversed or fallen angel, but insisting on being happy and not sinking to their level or their playing field. This definitely can be like 3 kids where one kid got left out, but they've been taught now not to, allow other lower energies to pull their energy down, allowing the negative energies to come up to their positive energy. So it's like the kids are being taught this and now learning how to do that. So the King of Swords dumped or dumping on the King of Wands, happy with an announcement. The Sagittarius reversed, dumped or purging, overwhelmed in a sudden explosion, eruption, or jealous rage, or epiphany, with the Page of Cups reversed, Scorpio's offer of sex or a project that was rejected, and the King of Swords keeping it to themselves. So it looks like the King of Swords is trying to keep his energy out of this stuff. And all the kings, I want you to note, all the kings and the emperor upright in this read today. So in and of themselves, they're all positive. But they're all kind of separate, right? They're all being sovereign to themselves, but they don't necessarily get along or resonate with each other. So that's the information that's coming up here. The King of Wands refusing their visit. It's like kids coming to visit, or perhaps employees coming to visit, someone to see, are you going to be opening back up, or anything like that. And the King of Wands is refusing their visit and or an offer after all that work, starting over with no good offers. And the Knight of Cups offering love to all. Or Sagittarius trying to be happy with an announcement of surrender of third party in energetic exchange or expressing feelings, or more announcements about social distancing and surrendering to be happy either way. Perhaps Sagittarius or Scorpio having a temper tantrum to get it out of their system. If not accepted, will just walk away. Soon is the Page of Pentacles, curious about their intuitive abilities, where the fight is over, a losing battle, or just no competition, with the King of Cups and the 5D connection over the imbalance of no sports or no social life. The King of Cups at break or rest, with the 9 of Pentacles reversed, dependent, that could be a child for sure, who's dependent on them or spending money, or powerless to their choice of path. Of the High Priestess and the Magician, the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth, overwhelmed or dumped by the Magician, or rushing in crying, rendering the Magician powerless. The Magician playing all this out in their mind over and over, and Gemini overwhelmed by Virgo, or Virgo overwhelmed by Gemini, choosing a path of giveness. Or dependent is in the way of manifestation, or choosing to lose or risk independence by giving to the Magician in order to support them. The Magician and his assistant, or the Magician and the Magician, must get rid of the idea of powerlessness and inequality of men and women. The Divine Masculine sees himself as karma upright, the lotus open, and the 6 of Cups, with fond memories, lit by the Hermit, perhaps though with an agenda, or backup, or bodyguard, or just defensive end. Detoxing chaos, purging, dumped, overwhelmed, suffering in silence, or sister ending the nightmare to find peace again, perhaps a vacation at 320, which is the Empress and the Judgment. Capricorn reversed, Virgo upright, and Aquarius upright here. Or kids going back to their mother's house, back and forth. Retreat comes up here, and give your relationship a chance. Chemistry and romantic feelings. So also could be the Capricorn reverse coming together with the Hermit upright, that can be a Virgo, who may be defensive though, in accepting them to come back. Around the masculine, or how he is seen, is the Great Wheel of Fortune upright, in separation, divorce, or justice of tripping up, removing the mask, and breaking patterns, done overworking with Emperor over justice, or Aries over Libra, and 10 of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction, family, business, or community, the cause of the patterns that they need to break. The Emperor could be an Aries with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and Justice could be a Judge or a Libra as well with the Two of Pentacles reversed. Less to lose or less to spend, or both the Emperor and the Judge are sitting still while everyone around them is losing money and them taking their energy, time, and money, like energy vampiring, right? The businessman perhaps with a Judge in his pocket, while the great wheel turns, and I wrote twins here, the great wheel twins are not allowing the negativity around them to affect their own happiness, their persona, or their status. The masculine needs to clear blocks regarding the Emperor, right? The one in control, the reasonable man, the logical man, and their reasoning abilities. Fearing this, right? Fearing not having that control. The Knight of Wands reversed, they're worried that the Knight of Wands reversed is the player energy of falling short, or they may get called out in judgment or be judged, or an announcement or wake-up call, where the magician's a player or never follows through or holding back their true desires and afraid to be judged by all. Love comes up, and even more so for the masculine here is teaching and learning and synchronicities, like know your synchronicities. Allow yourself to teach and learn. In another world, unable to work, or the world's upside down, the Knight of Pentacles, stubborn bull, that can be Earth and or Pisces, the Knight of Pentacles reversed resisting, but the Knight of Cups is offering love in spite of. The Knight of Swords is overwhelmed and pushed to the emotional limits, and the Knight of Cups is starting over in love. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stuck in another world, or the other side of the world, or just in this crazy world of ours. The Ace of Wands upright, the big flame between the Page of Cups reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, trying too hard to offer passion, growth, and creativity to those who don't want it. Now no longer accepting less than, the Knight of Cups is love. The King of Wands may be hanging out with the King of Pentacles with issues at work, or King of Pentacles is hanging out with third party through work, big passion, chomping at the bit, hungry for a steak perhaps, or give a dog a bone, this old man comes rolling home. Transition of Leo Empress and Taurus reversed, Queen of Wands or Cancer reversed and divorced, or strong Empress and Queen of Wands upright surrounded by a Taurus reversed and a Cancer reversed, or a break away from the institution and deception, or Leo upright, Taurus reversed, and Cancer reversed in the death march, transition portal, floating on air, the King of Cups, Scorpio, or just unconditional loving, overworking with the King of Wands, and the King of Wands rising above all the rest, loving themselves first and not overworking. New passion in order to transcend and transform at 341, which is the Empress and the Ace of Cups. At 42, the Two of Cups, that soulmate or partner, that deep connection, just floating on a wing in a prayer, the King of Swords, dark night, done overworking for them. Peace, happiness, indigo magician, and the Queen of Pentacles upright, defenseless to drama. The Three of Cups reversed, karma of the great wheel, destiny of passing downloads to those left out in the cold and challenged by the Hermit with the light and shedding that light, and the Page of Pentacles, curiosity about their own intuitive abilities, or an opportunity with the Emperor chopping at the bit, or Aries or Leo or Sag going after the flame or prize through transition portal, floating in their own knowing and unconditional love, done aligning with overwork or whatever's not working for you. Defenseless to being ganged up on and no longer care. Passing downloads, third party, Hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave with the natural light, challenged by the Hermit with artificial light, bursting through the ring of fire, the white bangle going for it. Karma of the crown opening, two abilities and curiosities, destined to toss their false hand, their control, or their reasoning over intuition and flame. Torch, igniting transition portal into their knowing and floating and seeing without doing so much at 353, which is the Empress and the Knight of Swords. So I'm going to pull another card from the energy deck to see what comes up for you guys. Let's see what comes up now. It's 5436 it was. which is the Page of Swords and the Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon your shoulders, that 10 of Wands. So for everybody watching, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? And let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all those concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light and your senses. And I want to point out too, the cards up here behind the love sign, the Devil, the Empress, the Three of Swords, and the Emperor. You can't see it because it's all reflective. But it's the Emperor and the Empress with the Three of Swords between them and the Devil on the end. Now, the Devil's reversed, so there can be detoxing going on here. But the Three of Swords is upright. The Emperor is upright, but I think the Empress was reversed. No, they're both upright. They're both upright, and the Devil's reversed, so there's detoxing in separation. They're both upright, so they're dealing with it well, but there is a separation there between them. All right, and there's definitely Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn energies right there. All right, so what comes up for you guys is yin-yang. It's all about the balancing and just staying at 0 point. 22 is the Fool, keeping your heart open to take that leap of faith at a moment's notice without getting triggered and knowing when to walk away. All right, so you're going to be tested on that stuff. We have the 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael, which is the heart chakra. 38 is the Queen of Cups. So it's very much being in that loving, nurturing place. Intuitive place. It's very green. These colors match very well together. Okay. And it's the Fool and the Queen of Cups, which is a beautiful energy together because they're both very heart-based. And then we have Envy. So this is that judgment around you. So this is that dark mother kind of energy, whether it's jealousy, envy, someone who wants to control you, you know, dark mother kind of energy. So these are the 3 energies coming up. Staying balanced is easy with this energy, but you may be tested with this to make sure you can stay calm and collected and walk away and not entertain people who just want to bring up negative energies. Okay, the bottom of the deck is the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. 41 is that Ace of Cups again. The Ace of Cups was reversed in this read. The Ace of Pentacles was upright, which is that offer of perfect contentment. The Ace of Cups is about overwhelming energy a lot in this read today. Can be purging as well, or just crying. But it doesn't have to be a negative thing, all right? But this is that, you know, the graduate who's unhappy, right? They have everything, but they're not happy because maybe they don't want to work for themselves, or they have no ambition. They don't know what they want to do, or perhaps they pursued something their parents wanted them to pursue to please their parents, but now it comes out that they're not happy about it. So there's definitely some work to be done there with opening the crown. Now that I have the crown, what do I do with it? That's the energy I'm getting there. Okay, so it's very much about just all you have to do is just stay heart-based and in balance. That's your job. So don't walk out of the house without being present, right? Because when we're not present, where we get knocked off balance, when we get triggered, because we're not thinking to be present in the moment. So that's the important thing right now. And remember from earlier too, the underlying energy was being that beacon of light, being really strong in the face of that storm, you know, and those are pretty heavy waves coming in there. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you guys. No, I didn't show you the pictures. I'll give you the pictures. I do have them. All right, so the main part of the read is here, the SIRIAN Starseed deck. Sorry, and then the full read in front of you is here. I'm going to clarify that just a little more. There we go. Okay. All right, so make sure you drink your water, get your rest, charge up your devices, get your joy and get your nature. It was just 58:58. Rise and be love, you guys. I will talk to you soon. Have an amazing night. Get some rest. Bye. Rise and be love.